So, for everybody that still follows me here on social media, really, this isn't even for the Interceptor, which does have a decent following. It's not for YouTube. It's not for anything else. This is just for people that need to hear this. There, my entire life, okay, has been encompassed with modern politics, and it's seriously, my inboxes are always full, my messages are always full, my notifications just all the time from the pages that I run and YouTube and things like that. And it's a constant flow. And if if you are paying attention, okay, and I mean really paying attention, you would know that in 2018 now, okay, that American politics is neither Democrat nor Republican. Those two parties are a mere front for the corruption in the District of Criminals, Washington, D.C. Everything that these criminals have put into place over the years, everything that they have hidden from the public, everything that they have, they've pulled the wool over the eyes. And they've used the media with things like Operation Mockingbird to push disinformation. Now, that's declassified. Just look it up. And, I find it, they use all this disinformation and they purposefully lie. They purposefully lie, and now here in 2017, 2018, it's like they use these late night establishment comedy shows to make jokes out of it, to make light of it, to get people to laugh as they lie blatantly to their face. Here's a bit of here's an example of that. Like, well, first of all the Russian collusion stuff, it's completely debunked at this point. Nobody's talking about that anymore because, well, it didn't exist to begin with. It was a disinformation campaign to begin with. But back in 2016, and there is a video clip of Trump saying this, that he believes in tax cuts for millionaires, for the wealthiest people in the United States, and that would include himself. There's a video clip of him saying that. And of course, the liberal, there's no liberal anymore. I mean, there's no liberal, but these establishment media and the shill and social media, they'll sit there and they'll tell you that Donald Trump just gave the most wealthy people in the United States tax cuts, when in all reality Donald Trump specifically, is forcing, Donald Trump is now paying millions of more dollars in taxes when you add up all of his estates and all of his holdings and things like that. That's probably just in, like New York and New Jersey or and Florida. Not to mention any other properties. So, he's actually paying millions more dollars in taxes now, if you actually go through and you add it all up. But nonetheless, they'll sit there and they'll tell you that, he's giving a tax cut, and that he's giving a tax cut for these millionaires, and that the middle class is going to suffer. When in reality, if Donald Trump had it his way, okay, I've seen him say it, in the proposals and things like that. Donald Trump would have it that if you're making $65,000 or less a year, that you would pay no money in taxes. You would pay no federal taxes at all whatsoever. But the Obamacare mandate, there's an end to that now. You don't have to get insurance if you don't want it without a penalty, okay? You want to talk about authoritarianism. You want to talk about, listen, it doesn't matter, okay? But, what is it now? If you're making less than $40,000 a year, you don't pay any taxes at all. The child tax doubled, okay? Or the child tax credit, should I say, doubled. Okay, so listen, this benefits the middle and the lower class. Okay, this is the biggest tax cut in, maybe forever. Probably forever. I don't have the numbers right off the top of my head to be able to say that for sure, but I bet it would be. And if it's not, it's definitely close. But probably ever. And I have these friends. I was talking to a friend tonight, and I don't have very many physical friends anymore because people are afraid to be my friend or they think that I'm a Nazi. That's how corrupt that the media is. And what's funny about that is that these same friends and these same people that, were my friends before and that, there wasn't this elephant in the room everywhere now, these same people, we would have conversations about, all these politicians and they're nothing but liars and the media is nothing but liars and we don't trust the media and, we're la da da da. But now all of a sudden, these same people are deciding to trust politicians like Bernie Sanders, who is an economic assassin. Bernie Sanders is an economic assassin. He really is. And like Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, these people that would rather cater towards illegal immigrants than our own citizens. A great example of that would be Kate Steinle. That's a great example of that. And open borders and chain migration and the immigration lottery, Chuck Schumer. Okay, so now all these people are all of a sudden trusting the government. They're trusting the government, they're trusting the politicians, they're trusting the media, they're laughing at, John Oliver and Stephen Colbert and Trevor Noah. These people are all funny now. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the problem, because this is not Democrat and it's not Republican anymore. And that's a great lie at this point for anybody to actually sit there and think that this is Democrat or Republican, because it's not. It's about corruption. It's about the past 40, 50 years of all the secret operations and the secret projects. And, you have Operation Popeye, which happened with, geoengineering and manipulating monsoons in Southeast Asia, and now I've listened to top level insiders now that say that there's no reason a hurricane should even make landfall in the United States or really anywhere. We have the technology, to steer it away. We actually have that technology. We, and when you look at the United States right now, there's 175 million Americans that are under the freezing temperature in the United States now. And it's almost 50% of the United States is covered in snow. And in the 70s it was global cooling, and then they changed it in the 90s and early 2000s, global warming. That was an obvious fraud. So they have to just change it to climate change, because that way they could swindle the ignorant, out of their tax dollars, and then say that anyone who doesn't support it, is a whatever ist or whatever a phobe they want to call people. In 2018, people are being afraid of being called a name. So that's the reality of it. That's the reality of it, is that everything is a lie. And what's in store for this year is really going to, and I just read this article and I posted it on Facebook, and everybody should read it, I'm telling you, because it's a forced red pill that some people are going to have to take. And when you want to talk about, pandemonium and chaos and panic that's going to set in this country, when whatever these criminals, these murderers, if you want to call it the deep state, the permanent entrenched bureaucracy, the military industrial complex, all of these criminals, all of these traitors to this country and traitors to the American people that want you to think that this is about Democrat or want you to think it's about Republican, when that event happens, it's going to forcibly red pill people. They're going to finally understand, they're going to have that I saw the sign moment, that moment of clarity. And, that could be detrimental actually to people's health, really, when you think about the magnitude of, disaster that could cause. And whatever that event happens to be, listen, I don't know. There's a lot of speculation right now, especially with QAnon, on 4chan and those boards, man. I'm telling you, shit is about to get absolutely crazy in this country. Absolutely crazy. And every single thing that I've been saying, and that the people that I've linked up with on social media have been saying, especially the Interceptor page itself, but not just us. Listen, it's not us. It's all of the great patriots. Right now, it's literally patriots versus clowns at this point. Anyone walking around resisting Trump and resisting, anyone who supports him. And, even me personally, I've been threatened. I've been stalked. Okay. I've been followed. Okay. And I'm nobody. I'm nobody. I've had that, there was people before that have seriously tried to get me fired from my job because of my political views, you know. And, just the threats that I've received and the arguments that I've gotten into. Listen, man, these people are ruthless. They are absolutely ruthless. These people are the people that say love Trump's hate, when in reality we see that spirit that embodied the Clinton campaign. We see the spirit that embodies the DNC, because these people are evil and wicked people. They are. But the Republicans are too. Just not quite as bad, but nonetheless, it's neither political party. This duopoly really failed a long time ago, if you ask me. And the front of it, the face of it, remained intact. So these politicians could continue to swindle and, pander to their dumbed down constituency to make it seem like they actually still gave a shit about them. When in reality, man, they don't give a shit. They don't care. They don't care at all. So maybe 2018 will be the year that we see, all of these corrupt politicians measured for their orange jumpsuits. Maybe this will be the year. Maybe this will be the year of nuclear war. Maybe, World War III has already started. Maybe the civil war in this country has already started. In fact, maybe it's been going on for a while. The media selectively reports, and they hide the truth. They hide the truth from people. They hide it. So that's why it's important to have an alternative media, and that they want to shut all that down. I've been banned off of Facebook. I've been banned, and the thing is that I'm nobody. I'm nobody. You can't, I remember saying this is on the way to the United States a couple years ago, when people in Europe and, Sweden, Germany, whatever, Manchester, literally have police show up at their door when they criticize Islam on social media. When you just say something in a negative light towards Islam, you'll literally be arrested. And now, in California, that's not a shock in California with how, Hollywood Babylon, the Misfits had it right, with that, but nonetheless, there's the first case of someone being arrested for criticizing Islam in the state of California now, This is everywhere, man. This is everywhere. And even in ISIS's own manifestos, in their own admissions, in their own propaganda videos, they admit that they align and share goals with Democrats, with the left in America. So, that's not even my opinion. That's not even my opinion. So, when you take a stand against Americano, when you take a stand against President Trump, you need to understand what you are propping up in the place of that. Trump derangement syndrome, man, is a real thing. It is a real thing. And maybe this is some sort of, maybe it stems from things like MK Ultra. Maybe it, or it has to do with the GMOs or the vaccines or the chemicals in the water. Like, I don't know, but it seems to really be some sort of collective sort of conscience with a select portion of the population, where it manifests in the exact same way. These people have the same characteristics. They interact with each other the same way. They're all part of this cult, man. They're all part of this cult. Don't you see that? Don't you see that they are very cult-like? Very authoritarian-like. Every single thing that they say that they stand for, they don't. They don't. And that's what we need to understand. That's what we need to come together, not as Republicans or Democrats anymore. We need to come together as just decent people. Just decent people. And understand that we aren't going to be held down by them anymore. And the greatest way to combat tyranny, the greatest way to combat these people, is with knowledge, man. And that knowledge they don't want to grant us access to. They don't want to tell us. That's why they don't report on it, man. They don't report on factual things. They want to keep us dumbed down and stupid. That came out in WikiLeaks, okay? That is a Hillary Clinton email, okay? Speaking about all of the Democrat voters and how stupid they are. Okay, again, that's not even my opinion. So, this video is so long. I did not mean to talk for this long, but it's so important, man. It's so important. This country is being ripped apart. Ripped apart. The Constitution is being tossed aside in favor of a hammer and sickle at this point. In favor of a godless and a faithless world, man. And I'm not even propping up Christianity here. What I'm just saying is, man, if you look at these people and if you look at what embodies and possesses them and you don't see pure evil, okay, then I just don't even know what to say to you anymore. So if that exists, then there must be something holy. There must be some God that is pure. There must be something. That's all I'm saying. Okay? That's all I'm saying. It's time to put the bias down at this point. It's time to give President Trump the props that he deserves, man. All these pedophiles being arrested, all the, this whole Me Too movement, man. If, this Me Too movement was somehow a slam at Donald Trump, it was somehow a slam, against people who even supported him. But really, when you think about it, all of the people that, so many of them were the biggest DNC donators, man. Harvey Weinstein and, was it Kevin Spacey and his connections to Bill Clinton and the Lolita Express and Orgy and Rape Island, man, Pedophilia Island. It's absolutely wild. It's crazy. And this whole Me Too movement wouldn't have happened if not for President Trump. We need to understand that too. We need to understand that everything they do backfires in their face because they're frauds. Because Donald Trump, like him or not, is the real thing. And that is something that we have not had in this country. And the only real people that we ever have in this country, the CIA kills them. The CIA kills them. So you need to think about that too. What do they have in store for 2018? Well, I tell you what. Maybe we've prevented disasters before by being aware and in tune with our surroundings and what these people are up to. And maybe that's the way that we could prevent something from happening, because I tell you what, whether you like or you hate President Trump, okay, if something, listen, if they try to, pull the wool over our eyes again, how they pulled the wool over our eyes with JFK, this country is going to go down, and it's going to go down fast, okay? And it will rise, man, like that phoenix. It will rise again, because Donald Trump is more than a man at this point. We need to understand that Donald Trump is an idea. And that idea, okay, no matter what they do to President Trump, that idea won't die. So you need to understand, we all need to understand, that this is all of our country, no matter what your political beliefs. And whether you like President Trump or not is really just kind of irrelevant. Whether you like this country, though, and everything that it stands for and what we stand for now, you need to thirst and long for knowledge and what is pure and what is right and what is just. And everything that is corporate mainstream media, everything that is academia, everything that is at least mainstream, okay, whatever. And Hollywood, man, it's so corrupt. It's pedophilia ridden, rape culture ridden. They try to preach to us like, we're a bunch of, advocates for rape and stuff like that, when that's all they do is rape each other. That's all they do is rape each other, and they rape children. And then they sit there and they try to talk to us about climate change, or they try to talk to us about women's rights. And give me a break. That's all they do is sexualize children. These people are frauds. And the admissions in WikiLeaks, man, how you're so dumbed down and stupid, okay? Because they know that that's what they've created. They've created you. They've created you. You're part of their matrix. And now it's time to wake up from all of that. This video is almost 20 minutes long. I'm sorry for talking. I hope you're still with me, though. I do. Because every single thing I just said I meant, and I could back it all up with facts and data and proof. Okay? And that is just something that is missing. Okay? Any sort of facts from my opposition. But I don't want to oppose you, and I don't want you to oppose me. Thank you for watching the video.